You don't belong in our family. You never did. My sister's voice sliced through the living room like a shard of glass. But what actually broke me was the silence that followed, my parents' silence, followed by my mother's quiet, almost relieved exhale. Then my father said, "She's right." And it felt like the floor under me cracked open. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I didn't even blink. I just stood there, holding the envelope I brought home, the envelope with the check I planned to give them, and felt my entire chest collapse. That was the moment I realized the truth. They never saw me as part of them. And they weren't even hiding it anymore. The room looked the same as always, warm yellow lights, the faint smell of my mother's jasmine candles, the TV humming low in the background. But everything felt wrong. My sister, Leah, was perched on the arm of the couch like she was getting ready to deliver a performance. Legs crossed, chin lifted, the ghost of a smirk playing at her lips. My mother stood near the kitchen doorway, arms folded tightly, jaw clenched like she was bracing for impact. My father sat at the dining table, not looking at me, just tapping his fingers on the wood, fast, impatient, annoyed. 3 sets of eyes, all meant to be family. 3 postures telling me I wasn't welcome. I could feel the tension before I even stepped inside. Like the house itself was holding its breath. I'd walked in expecting the usual mixture of entitlement and disappointment. Instead, I got a verdict. Leah was the one who delivered it. Of course she was. "You're not going on our family vacation," she declared, flicking her hair over her shoulder. Mom and Dad already agreed. I frowned. Why? I helped pay for it. She rolled her eyes. That's the point. You keep throwing your money around like it buys you a seat at this family. It doesn't. My heart stopped. That's not what, she cut me off with a lazy wave of her hand. You're just, extra. You're not really one of us. My mother didn't disagree. My father didn't defend me. Leah leaned forward, eyes glinting. So you're staying home. And maybe it's time you stopped pretending you belong. Her voice dripped superiority. It was carefully designed to hurt. And it did. I looked at my parents, waiting, praying, for them to step in. Instead my father sighed. She's right. Just like that. A lifetime of being the one who picked up their pieces, paid their bills, saved their messes, erased. I felt something inside me settle. Not peace. Not acceptance. Something colder. Clearer. I straightened, closed the envelope, and slipped it back into my bag. Okay, I said quietly. 3 heads snapped toward me at once. I didn't yell. I didn't break. I simply nodded, turned on my heel, and walked down the hallway. Behind me, I heard my mother gasp. My father muttered, "Here we go." Like I was being dramatic. Leah scoffed. "Oh, please. You're not actually upset." I stopped, looked back at her, and said, "Don't worry. I won't pretend anymore." And then I walked out the front door. Not slamming. Just closing it with a soft click. But that soft click shook everything. The cold air outside hit my face like a wake-up slap. And for the first time in years, I let myself think about everything I'd been ignoring. The thousands I'd given them. Rent when they were short. Leah's college books. Dad's car repairs. Mom's emergency dental surgery. Groceries when the fridge was empty. Electricity bills when the lights were threatening to shut off. Every time, I came running. Every time, they let me. I worked 2 jobs in college while Leah partied. I skipped vacations so they could go. I lived cheaply so they could live comfortably. And I told myself it was what family did. But the truth? I was the family ATM. The crisis manager. The reliable one. Never the loved one. And they knew it. That night, I sat at my kitchen table and did it. I cut them off. I canceled the monthly transfer. I blocked their access to my spare credit card. I unsubscribed from auto payments tied to their bills. I even removed myself as Leah's emergency contact at her university. One by one, like unplugging life support from a machine that had been draining me. When I blocked them all on my phone, my hands were shaking. But it wasn't fear. It was freedom. The next morning, the messages started. From unknown numbers. From emails. From burner accounts. Where's the rent money? You forgot the electric bill. We need you to chip in. You're being immature. Call me now. Each one more frantic. More entitled. I didn't respond. Not a single word. Silence is dangerous. Because when you stop playing your part, the people benefiting from it feel the void immediately. Within a week, my mother sent 8 long emails filled with guilt trips. My father sent 2 messages, "We need to talk." Leah spammed me with angry emojis and voice notes I didn't open. But I stayed silent. And in that silence, something shifted. I realized how quiet my life was without their chaos. How peaceful it felt to wake up not bracing for impact. How strong I felt saying nothing at all. Meanwhile, their panic grew louder. It started small. Lights got shut off. My mother complained on Facebook about ungrateful children. My father hinted online about financial betrayal. Then it escalated. Leah posted a crying selfie with a caption about fake siblings who abandon family. My parents argued in public comments under her post. My aunt messaged me asking what was happening. Their system was collapsing. Because I wasn't there to hold it up anymore. Then came the unexpected twist. My cousin Mateo, quiet, introverted, rarely involved in family drama, messaged me privately. "Just want you to know. I see what they did. I'm proud of you for stepping back." He told me he'd picked up extra shifts. Started saving. Stopped letting the family dump errands on him. He said my silence inspired him. We started talking more. A friendship forming in the ruins of family dysfunction. A contrast to the noise. One rising while the others fell. 2 months later, things got explosive. My parents were nearly evicted. Leah's credit card was declined at a restaurant and she filmed a meltdown in the parking lot. They started a GoFundMe claiming unexpected hardship due to medical issues. I knew the truth. The unexpected hardship was me disappearing. They vague posted daily. They hinted that I'd abandoned them. They tried to make me the villain. But people weren't as empathetic as they hoped. Some comments questioned their spending. Others asked why they relied so heavily on one child. A few pointed out Leah's frequent party photos. Their pity campaign was falling apart. Then the real twist hit. My father's old employer contacted me. Apparently Dad had been fired months earlier for mismanaging funds. He never told us. Instead, he'd been depending on me to cover the gaps. But now, he had no backup plan. And news of his firing spread in our hometown. People whispered. My mother panicked. Leah raged. Their perfect image shattered. Not because of me. But because lies eventually collapse. 3 months after the fallout, I received a letter. A physical letter. Handwritten. From Leah. Her handwriting was shaky. Pages smeared like she'd cried on them. She admitted she'd always been jealous. That she resented how responsible I was. How our parents relied on me instead of her. How she pushed me away because she felt outshined. She wrote, I didn't mean it. I was angry. You do belong in the family. You were the best part we had. Then came another envelope. From my mother. Not exactly apologizing, but acknowledging their mistakes, their dependence, their fear. My father's letter came last. Short. Blunt. But genuine. I'm sorry. I took advantage. I thought you'd always be there. They were all unraveling. And reaching for me like a lifeline. But I didn't fall into their arms again. Not this time. During those months alone, I changed. I saved money for the first time in my life. My apartment felt like home, not a crash pad between crises. I slept peacefully. I cooked. I traveled, my first real vacation. I started therapy. I built friendships. I learned to say no. I became someone I didn't recognize, someone healthier, calmer, stronger. The version of me who once begged for my family's approval. Gone. And I wasn't going back. Despite everything, I reached out. But not to them. To Matteo. He'd grown so much, taking responsibility, setting boundaries, working on himself. I invited him to dinner at a restaurant downtown. He said yes immediately. Then, because it felt right, I invited my parents and Leah to join us, not as a reunion, but as a boundary lesson. A demonstration of what a healthy dynamic looks like. Matteo would be my anchor. They would be my test. The restaurant was dimly lit, warm, quiet, the opposite of my family's usual storm. Matteo arrived first. Calm. Grounded. Then my parents walked in. Hesitant. Smaller somehow. Leah followed, eyes red, trying to hold herself together. We sat. Silence stretched across the table like a fragile thread. Then I spoke. I didn't invite you to go back to how things were, I began softly. That's never happening again. My mother nodded, lips trembling. I invited you, I continued, to explain how things will be moving forward. They listened. For the first time, truly listened. I'm not your provider. I'm not your safety net. I'm not your fixer. I'm not the one you dump responsibility on. I'm your daughter. Your sister. And that relationship only exists if there's respect. Nobody looked away. And if any of you ever talk to me the way you did that night, I will walk away again. And this time, I won't come back. My voice didn't shake. Leah sobbed quietly. My mother wiped her eyes. My father exhaled, a deep, defeated sound. Then Matteo smiled at me, small, proud, supportive. The room felt different. Softer. Honest. Balanced. Not perfect. But real. Things didn't magically fix themselves after that night. But they shifted. My parents got jobs. Leah started therapy. They stopped asking for money entirely, even refused when I offered to help with a minor bill. We text sometimes. Sometimes we don't. It's not a fairy tale. It's a work in progress. But it's healthy. And for the first time, I feel like the family I kept trying to earn might finally be trying to earn me back. Sometimes the moment you walk away is the moment everyone finally learns how to meet you where you stand.